Hello everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me to join you at BMM 2022. I'm thrilled to hear that this year's BMM conference includes a new sustainability initiative called Go Green. And I want to particularly thank Shirish and Darshana Gupta, two climate leaders in the organization I chair, the Climate Reality Project, who were integral in setting up this program and bringing other green initiatives to the organization. I also want to thank Sunil Deshmukh and many others in the Maharashtra Foundation for generously providing financial support to the Climate Reality Project's India branch, which is right now working on environmental education, water conservation, and mangrove forest restoration in the state of Maharashtra. We're so grateful to you for helping to make this work possible. Thank you. And it's wonderful to be able to speak with all of you today because as members of the Indian American community here in the U.S., you have a critical role to play in helping to drive the solutions we need to solve the climate crisis. After all, the United States and India are the second and third largest emitters of greenhouse gas pollution globally. But our two nations are also among the most innovative in the world, and we've played a critical role in developing solutions to the climate crisis that are not only effective, they're cleaner and cheaper and more efficient, and they don't have the particulate pollution that kills so many people, the air pollution. However, the impacts of the climate crisis have been accelerating much faster than we have yet been able to deploy all of these available solutions. Indeed, India has seen this firsthand and is among the nations most vulnerable to the impacts of the climate crisis. India has the largest number of people that are vulnerable to the consequences of unlivable degrees of heat and humidity. The heat wave that engulfed the region earlier this year illuminated this threat. India and Pakistan had their hottest March and April in at least 122 years. That's since records were first collected, actually, and may have gone back farther than that. But according to the scientists, this heat wave statistically was made 30 times more likely by the climate crisis. It's clear that we must act decisively and without delay. We simply can't afford to wait another 10 years, much less 20 years, to reduce emissions. So I'm here not just to speak to you, but to recruit you. Cooperation between the U.S. and India is essential if we want to avoid the worst impacts of this crisis. And your community knows more about how to foster such collaboration than anybody. Your voices are critical in advocating for and advancing that partnership. We need to see further cooperation to ensure that both nations are meeting their commitments under that agreement and raising ambition where possible. But of course, even when governments work together, they can't solve the climate crisis only on their own. The business community and the philanthropic community and others have a massive leadership role to play. India right now is targeting 500 gigawatts of non-fossil clean energy installed by 2030. That is a remarkably ambitious goal for such a populous and fast-growing nation. Investment watchers estimate that such an energy transition in India is likely to require around $500 billion of investment up to the year 2030, including in transmission infrastructure. With the private sector having been responsible for 86% of all the capital invested around the world in renewables over these past 5 years, obviously we need businesses and investors leading the way from now forward. From clean energy to electric vehicles to advances in regenerative agriculture and industrial efficiency, we have solutions to this crisis available now that we can implement today. That might mean starting small and improving the energy efficiency of your home or business, but it certainly doesn't need to stop there. I've often said that while it's important to change the light bulbs, it's way more important to change the laws and policies. But here's the thing, we can solve this. We have the tools, we have the solutions. We need all of you. And for anyone who thinks we don't have the political will to act, just remember, Political will is itself a renewable resource. Thank you.